So if you had to guess, what game made the most cash this year, 2017, what would you guess?
Pinball FX 3.
Well, you're very close.
Okay.
Any other guesses?
Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness.
Well, you are growing incredibly closer. What? Any other guesses?
My final one. This War of Mine.
You're a disappointment, and I hate you. No, it was Call of Duty and Destiny 2 were the clear number 1 and 2.
Are you sure?
I am. Are you surprised? What are your thoughts?
I'm honestly not surprised.
You're not?
Because this is top grossing, not top selling.
Very true.
And that also means that microtransactions play a huge part in this.
A very big part.
So yeah, in conclusion, I'm not surprised. Have a nice day.
Great video. See you in the next one, guys.
Are you surprised?
I honestly, I didn't realize this, and I think I should have, but Call of Duty has been the top grossing game for 9 years in a row. Like, they've just dominated every year since 2009, 2010. That's insane.
Yeah, it's surprising to me with what Infinite Warfare went through.
Right. And I think this game had a lot more hype than Infinite Warfare does. But I guess that's a good point, though. It's crazy to think that even though Infinite Warfare, which I think was one of the most disliked videos in YouTube history.
Video games. The video of the video game.
The trailer, trailer. That game still was the number 1 grossing video game of the year. Which is, it's pretty impressive.
Well,
but
I just can't believe it outdoes like other similar PC games.
Right, yeah.
I don't know, it just surprises me. Like with the amount of people that play like League of Legends or something, I'm surprised that doesn't make more.
Right.
Obviously it's not selling units, but it has microtransactions.
Big time. I was surprised. I think the one I was more surprised about, because I think COD I expected to see up there, but Destiny 2 in the number 2 slot ahead of huge games like Battlefront 2, like Assassin's Creed. Like,
it's also had more time than those games, hasn't it? It launched way before Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it did.
I don't remember how far, but it launched a little before Assassin's Creed Origins, I believe.
That's fair too, yeah.
So, yes and no. We'll have to see. I would assume that it has... I think Assassin's Creed isn't going to, keep growing. Like, it's not going to keep making, like, more sales off this same game. It'll make some, but not, like, tons and tons, whereas I could still see Call of Duty and Destiny continually sell.
Yeah.
For a while. Which is why I think that it makes sense, I guess. I'm interested to see if, like, when Destiny 3 rolls around, if this is if it's the same thing, because there were people who really liked Destiny 2. Pretty much everybody agreed that it had a better story, like, campaign than the original. But there was, like, controversy surrounding it as well, like, recently with, like, new DLC came out, and, like, that new DLC had locked some of the content from the base game.
Really?
Yeah, and there were huge problems with that, and then they undid it, and, like, I don't know, I wonder a little bit how many letdowns from Destiny people will go through before they, decide to not keep supporting it. Or is it like COD, where it's like, it doesn't matter, because there's so many people who always will that who cares?
Right. Because,
that's what COD is.
That's a good point. I didn't realize... And I knew Destiny was big, but I didn't think the player base was as big as it was. But it obviously must be pretty substantial for them to be the number 2 highest grossing game of the year. And for them, I know the microtransactions had some issues. Like, people didn't like parts of it, I think, when it first launched.
Yeah.
But still, to be number 2, that's pretty impressive, when all things considered.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just passed. I think I heard too that this game sold more units than the first one. So I think that automatically makes it a success, I think. Just financially.
Surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because I remember there were, like, sales disparities between the first and this one at launch. Like, the launch was smaller.
Really?
But there was also, like, digital. So.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Which would have played a bigger part.
I don't know. Were there games that you thought should have been higher as far as grossing wise?
There's all. Well, do you mean like deserved to be higher, or like I'm surprised they weren't?
I would
Because
say
there's always games that deserve to be higher than. Not to sound like a jerk to Call of Duty, but I don't think it's the best game out there. I don't ever think it deserves to be the best.
Agreed.
Selling or greatest, grossing, but it is.
Yeah,
which means clearly other people disagree with me, so fair enough.
That's true, yeah. I just meant that as far as like, were you surprised that something didn't beat out Destiny to get to the number 2 spot at least?
No, I'm not. If we were still in the same year as GTA, I would have been surprised if that didn't.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That launch year with like the shark cards and everything. But we're not, so no. The only other thing would have been like, say, League of Legends, which is that counted in? You know what I mean?
That's a good. I don't know.
I don't know. That's something I'm not sure if the microtransactions of that are counted in this. Also, Overwatch made a ton of money.
Yes, it did.
Off of its microtransaction skin system, which is the same type of thing we had talked about with Battlefront. Like, I feel like Battlefront would have made more off microtransactions if they had gone in that direction than a pay-to-win one.
Because Overwatch, I thought, did it well.
Yeah.
They did their loot box.
And I don't think anyone really cares.
No.
I mean, like, granted, I think no one really, like, loves microtransactions.
Right.
And I think rightfully so, because it is kind of shitty no matter what it is. But it's certainly more shitty in, like, Battlefront 2 than it is in Overwatch.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah, I guess I personally am not surprised now that I think about it, because this wasn't something that I thought about, really. But, I mean, looking back throughout, the entire duration of 2017... I can't really think of 2 games that were capable of being 1 and 2 as much as these 2, as far as how they were designed and how they, I don't want to say were purely designed to make money, but they were obviously designed to make money. And so...
Yeah, well, I would say any game is.
Yeah.
Any game or movie. But, like, I would say that they're more accessible.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess that's what I was going for, is that they were easier to... Because, I mean, you look at games like... I guess maybe one game I'm surprised that wouldn't be a little bit higher up there is FIFA. Because FIFA is EA's top-selling sports game. I think it's either FIFA or Madden, and they're both
Here's
up
the thing I don't understand. Is soccer, football, is that the most popular sport in the world?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I don't even care about sports. But
yeah, and I mean, that game makes a ton, an unbelievable amount off of microtransactions. I mean, you'll see streamers spending thousands of dollars every week on these games. And, So maybe that's one thing that I was surprised by, is not seeing an EA game on there, because...
But they were in the top 10.
They were.
Like another list we looked at for best selling.
Yes.
It's just questionable about grossing.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And so, I mean, maybe these games are more... I mean, if you're not into football, you don't buy Madden. Where Destiny, I think, really anyone can get into Destiny. So, I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, there's also, like... Despite the fact that sports are one of the most popular things in the world, there's also always going to be people like me that don't really care about any of them.
Right.
Whereas I feel like there's very few people that aren't like, oh, shooting aliens, that would be cool.
Great point, yeah.
Like, because, you're always going to have the people who... And it might seem like it's not a lot of people, but, like, quite a few people don't care about sports. Or are, like, such casual fans of it that they don't buy the video games of it.
Yeah, they'll just watch, like, the Super Bowl or something. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You have, like, a limited demographic for it, I feel like, because you also have, like, the sports fans who don't play video games, even.
Right.
And those guys are still sports fans, but they'll never play FIFA or Madden or whatever.
Exactly.
And so then you're relying on whales to make those in-game purchases out of your people who bought it, but, like, Destiny has the same thing. It's also relying on whales, and because it's, like, selling so well, I would assume there will be more of them, and fewer kids on it.
That's a fair point, yeah.
Because so many, like... A huge demographic of sports games is kids.
It really is, yeah.
At least online. So maybe it's not quite that way, like, in total, but online it is.
At least for, I think, Madden and games like FIFA, because they're
very... NBA. A ton of NBA players are little kids.
They're very kid-friendly games. So, I mean, that makes sense. And I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't be as high as Destiny, but I just figured FIFA... I thought it was either FIFA or Madden as their top-selling game. And, I mean, they have certain packs that you can open that cost $50. Just one pack. So it's like, you would think they'd be up there, but I mean, you get consistent big whales that are spending in Destiny, and I mean, I guess they're in Madden too, but otherwise, this makes sense to me, and I'd be interested to see if COD keeps the streak going for 10 more years, or if the Steam's ever going to run out. Because they've kept this streak going for 9 years already.
Yeah, that said, there certainly are games that I personally think deserve to be higher selling, but
agreed.
They're not as like maybe like accessible to everyone, and that's probably why they're not.
Right.
Like I would say that Breath of the Wild, it's so hard to like judge it, but like because it's a different type of game. But I think like something like Breath of the Wild appeals to me much more than Call of Duty at this point.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's unique. They're doing something different, and I think that's one thing that I appreciate in something like the Breath of the Wild or even Super Mario Odyssey. That was a unique spin on Mario. And, I mean, it obviously came out later than these games, but I would like to see games like that start to make it to the top of the list.
Where they're making more unique games.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they don't make it to the top of the list.
Yeah.
Because they're unique.
Which kind of sucks.
It's just like movies, how you and I talk about how like indie films, they'll never outsell like, a Marvel film.
But they're the ones that win the Oscars.
And they're also objectively better movies usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too bad that's the way the world works.
It really is, yeah.
But anyway, guys, let us know what you think about the sales figures, or the grossing figures, should I say. Do you think it's gross? Let us know in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.